Let me jump down to verse. I thought it was right here. Give me a second. Let me see if I find it. Where's that verse at where it says, "Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein"?
It's like 30 something.
It's in back in the 30s.
Mm.
So I must have rolled past it. I think I was moving too quick. Oh, hang on, it's not there. Let me see if I can find
Like
that one.
upper.
It's verse 30.
Verse 30. Okay, come. It's like I did go past it. Yeah, verse 30. Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
Right. So slavery, we know slave master, his guests, slave master have guests coming over. You know, he didn't care if the woman was married or not, your wife or not your wife. You could be his best slave. Do everything master say. You know, cutting grass, picking the most cotton, the most tobacco, cleaning things the best. Master coming for your woman. You know, your property was his property, right? And we building houses. Just look at all the infrastructures that we built, all these buildings we built, and more than half the people that have take a hand in actually building them can't even afford to live in it. That's one main thing. You know, even does those of us that are able to do that, as I mentioned this last week, I believe it was just black professor. He had a nice house, big house. He was locked out. He's trying to get in his house, and I believe he did actually call the police to come assist him. They lock him up.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Professor Harry Lewis Gates, I believe is his name. They lock him up, and I think it was waiting until a judge seen him. They was like, "Oh, you know what you doing? What you doing here, Professor?" And the
Yeah, the
officer
judge knew
explaining,
him. Yeah, the judge knew him.
"Yeah,
Huh.
like come on, man, like him, like that's you don't know, Professor." And I'm not gonna say the officers didn't know that. To them, they don't give a damn who you are. They don't care, you celebrity professor, the top doctor, all that stuff. Look at the Jake doctor, the most deaf he played in the movie. I forgot the doctor's name, but he helped with one of the first successful heart transplant, and it was on a child, white child.
Oh, yeah. But
It was successful, and he still didn't get the respect. So it don't matter what we do, because the Most High say everything we put our hands to, everything, we're not gonna prosper, and that's a major issue, major thing with us. When we don't look at it as that. We just look at it always a bunch of racist people, racist white folks that's just attacking us. You know, and it's not saying that. Of course, they had a perpetual hatred for us. They gave up. They gave up the covenant. The Most High seen in Esau's heart that he was going to do that. So it was already predestined for us to get it, right? The birthright. So it's a jealousy thing, and all nations have this jealousy towards us. Every last one of them. Just look how they want to imitate us. They really want to replace us, man. They don't want us to be in a position that we are. Right? Hang on. It's two more I want to grab out of here. I think it's like 40. Okay, yeah, 45, and there's one more after that. Yeah, let me know when you get it up.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thou God to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Kind right? Most I said all these things going to come upon us and overtake us. You know, just look how hard we work as a people, man. And more as time goes by, it seems like we should be more united and together. But throughout the years and throughout, my lifespan, I've been seeing like a lot more distance, and it's a lot more distance within families. And this happens a lot of time through different religious beliefs. Even if you believe in Christianity, let's say one person's a Baptist, one person's a Jehovah's Witness. There's a division right there. There's a lot of disagreements, a lot of chaos, you know, and no unity right there, because we know whatever they teach in Kingdom Hall and whatever they teach it, in the Baptist church, they clash, So there's a problem there. So there's the unity is just non-existence, right? Even with like Islam, a lot of our people go crazy into Islam, and historically, when we look at what historically has taken place, for us to adopt and to want to believe and follow the ways of Islam is crazy. It's crazy to think that we're gonna fall for that. You know, Slave master took the one book that was ours and used it to control us. He knew that book we had some attachment to the book, and not just some. Let me not say some. He knew the book is everything to us. The
Hmm.
Bible is everything to us. It is us. It's our story. It's our culture, it's our customs, everything that has to pertain to us. It's telling us how we get out of the situation. So he had to manipulate it, and he had to use it to control us. And one thing is too, I meant to find this law. I know it's in the laws, the Black's Law Dictionary, which is a constitutional law book. They have different definitions in there. It says that homosexuality is a felony. It's a crime punishable by imprisonment. Now they get that because of the Bible. But in this kingdom, for a kingdom not to agree with their own laws and to promote it and to stir up confusion when it's in their book. Same thing with the money. And in the Constitution, it says nothing should be legal tender, as for payment money, except for gold and silver. There's a standard. But during the bankers' war with Paul Warburg, J.P. Morgan, and Nelson Aldrich, y'all can look that up. You know, they had something called the bankers' war. And they decided to come up with the U.S. federal debt note. And the debt note was something that was established from Germany. It was brought over here. So like Germany, and was that Paul Warburg? He had come up with this idea, and the U.S. adopted it. Now at first they were still using gold coins and silver coins. You could take your paper money in and trade it in. It's an IOU. But then later it just became, you know what? We're just going to do away with using gold as a standard, which really has value in it, and we're gonna come up with paper money. You know, so we fight each other, we kill each other for this dollar that really don't hold the value, and it's only standing, as long as it is because of the military. They back it up, and they make sure countries keep this, as their standard, as their the primary currency. It's right under the British pound, yeah, it's right underneath the British pound. That's the only currency that's above it. But it's still the US dollar is accepted everywhere, you know.
Like,
Uh,
and meanwhile, they've stolen all the gold and silver.
yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna throw this drill out there. The US don't even have the biggest gold reserve. A lot of people don't even know that. They think America has the biggest gold reserve, and they don't. They stop I think they even stopped storing gold. Probably was after the 1937. I just know that's when they started, doing away with the whole process of you getting the gold coins for your money, But today they definitely don't have the biggest gold reserve. That's something for another time. Let's I don't want to stray away from this, but that is some good information, for those who see this later, man. Just look it up. Everything we say as Israelites, man, we do our research. We don't just come out here talking sideways out of our necks and stuff like that. We really do some digging, man. Nelson Audrey, J.P. Morgan, and Paul Warburg. Those three, the main players in getting that debt note going. All right. What's the last verse I want here? 49 is the last verse I wanted to grab.
Salakif. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Con, right? So besides even just looking at the eagle, because people like to say, oh, Egypt had the eagle, Mexico had the eagle. Yeah, they did have it. They had it represented them. The main part I wanted to point out here is a tongue that we would not understand, right? Now, Israel, us being everywhere, because people say, oh man, you Israelite, you Hebrew Israelite, you don't even speak Hebrew, right? And it's ignorant for people to say that because you have other people that are born in other countries and they might not speak their mother tongue. They might speak the language of their country because they're born somewhere else, right? And a lot of countries in Africa today, a lot of them speak French because the French colonized a lot of these places. So they adapted the language French. Some of them still might speak the dialects in their countries, but primarily you speaking the language from your oppressors, right? So a lot of us lost that, right? So we fallen under rulership, and this is showing us just by the way we speak today, and we speak English in our own way, with slang and things like that. We always in Israel, we always spice things up, man. We always add that flavor to everything that we do. That's why every place you go where we speak in English as people, we got our own style with it. You know, New Yorkers talk different from the brothers in DC. We speak different from brothers in Cali. We speak different from brothers in Georgia. Everywhere we go, you see our people, everywhere we at, we have a different way of using that, where we articulate our words and stuff, right? So this is not something, and I've been anxious before about different nations of people. It's not something that we should not be able to defend when people come at us like that. Oh, you're Hebrew Israelite, why you don't speak it? When you look at our oppressors, the people that imposters that's in the land, technically they don't even speak Hebrew. They speak a variation of it. Some watered down dramatic. Akbar, would say some watered down dramatic version of it. They have like grammar of it. Then they have Slavic and German and different type of things in it. So it's like saying it's another dialect that they created. But most of the time, when you see shows to where people are speaking, oh, I'm Jewish, white people speaking Jewish, and the subtitles, a lot of time you see it say Yiddish. It doesn't say Hebrew. It'll say Yiddish, right? So that's a dead giveaway. But most of our people don't even pay attention to that, right?
Yes, Salakia.
Kind of
Can
good.
can you grab Isaiah 28 and 11 real quick, short verse, speaks
Kind,
directly
kind,
to what you're talking about?
kind. You said 28 and 11, right?
Yes, sir. Gone.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 11.
Verse
Kind,
11. And remember, this is the Most High talking about us. If you start at verse 9, he talks about how he's going to teach this doctrine, how you're supposed to learn it and whatnot. And then when you get to verse 11, it says, for with stammering lips
mhm.
and another tongue will I speak to this people. So not
Kind,
their original tongue is he going to speak to us in. He's speaking to us with stammering lips and another tongue, Spanish, French, English. Those are stammering lips and another tongue.
Zaquan, kind. Excellent point to bring out, man. Excellent point to bring out. You know, and this is something deep, man, because people would think, hey, you know what? You got the Bible in English, you got it in Spanish, you got it in French. How do you know the words is how do you know saying the same thing? You know, and information can be lost like that. I'm not saying it's for sure is, but it can be lost because it's going to go according to how things are said and expressed in that language. With every language comes a culture. So you might pick up on something different. It might be said a different way, and things could be, mistakenly left out. That's why even the Apocrypha, it says when it's spoken in its original tongue, when it's spoken in Hebrew, it's completely different. Things don't have the same force in it when they take it into another language. But we still get to understand, and we still know that we Israel, whether it's in English or Spanish or French or Portuguese, the Bible still speaks about Israel being the chosen. That never changed. It still goes into the curses. It still goes into how we're going to seek salvation. Those things are still expressed and spoke about in the Bible. Right? You had another one, Zaquan?
Go to
Uh,
Jeremiah
la,
15.
la. I just wanted to point that out.
Come on. You said Jeremiah?
Jeremiah 5:15. Same thing what Rob was saying, but it's exact. It's just a precept. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 15. It reads Jeremiah 5 and 15. Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, saith the Lord. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understand what they say. So, we was to understand them when we was bought, taken into captivity. They forced us not to speak our own language, but to learn theirs, and we understand them. And for us to communicate with each other, I think we spoke about this earlier. We had to use signs, and through the patterning and the sewing of our clothes, through the plaiting of our hair, through song, just a lot of things. But
Uh,
we didn't understand them, and they made us learn their language. They kept us from keeping our own language on our tongue to learn theirs. We didn't understand.
not facts, man. Definitely facts, man. And that's the thing, man. Your language, it's a powerful thing. Like just speaking what you speak. Like if you was to learn another language of somebody, and it shows them that you have an understanding of who they are, right? You get in their culture, and so people are less likely to to want to really talk about you and be secretive and sticker because they like, what, man, if this person can speak my language. They understand the different gestures. They know the body. They know all this stuff. Because with a language comes a lot of things. It's not just something plain and simple. With language comes a whole lot. Like I say, it's a whole entire culture. Different atmosphere come with that, right? And like you said, man, they force us to learn to speak like them. And throughout time, as children are being born, it's we adapted to that. But and so doing that, it took us away from who we really were. It destroyed the fabric of us as a nation.
Can I bring out another precept? I,
Sure,
I need help too. I need help with this precept from the
bring it up.
author. First, I think this first Corinthians, no, first Colossians, no, first Corinthians. I think that's what it is. 14:21. Let me see. Let me
14:21.
let me go to it in the book.
And I got it up.
14:21. Yeah. First Corinthians 14:21. And it says, in the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people, and yet for all that will they hear me, it says Salaki, and yet for all that will they not hear me, saith the Lord. Can y'all
Con,
can help me understand that verse right there, Akion?
I got you. So pretty much with the Most High saying, as I was mentioning, though we've been around other nations, we learn their language. The Most High is going to use those languages to reach us. Like I said, the Bible is in different languages, so no matter what tongue we speak, we strayed away from, we not all of us don't have the knowledge of knowing Hebrew and stuff like that. The Most High is going to use those other languages to still give His word to us. So He's giving us no excuse. Ain't no way to say, oh, I speak Spanish. I don't speak Hebrew. How do I know the Father Son of me? Hey, the word is in Spanish. Oh, I speak French. How am I going to understand what the Most High is saying? Hey, the word is in French. Just like in I want to say it's in the book of, was it the book of Acts, the day of Pentecost? I think it's Acts the second chapter, where there was people of all kindreds and different tongues,
Huh,
and they
huh.
all heard the same message, but they heard it in their language, right? So the
Huh.
Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, Arabic, whatever our people
Huh.
understood, they heard it and they understood it in their own language, which is
Huh.
the language, wherever country they was underneath. So the Most High leaves his word everywhere. No way to say that you didn't get the word.
Huh. Huh. Okay. Huh.
And you had something, Rob?
And I was just going to say the same thing, just repeating it. That's just the perfect precept for Isaiah 28 and 11. They're
Con,
Huh.
saying the exact same thing. So,
Huh.
con. And it's in the New Testament. Old and new go hand in hand.
Huh.
So
Huh.
ain't no getting away from it. Con. All right, I'm gonna jump into Joshua. We're gonna start at Joshua chapter 23.
I think the dog gonna pick back up.
All right, she can land me back on that. Pick it up. You ready,
Hold on,
sis?
hold on, I'm fine. Oh,
All
you
right.
said Joshua
Yep.
23?
Yep. Joshua chapter 23.
All right. Starting from the top.
Come. Verse 1.
Okay, this is the book of Joshua, chapter 23, and verse 1 reads, And it came to pass a long time after that the Lord had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, that Joshua waxed old and stricken in age.
Come. Now, as we go through this story, I want the focus to be on the Most High gave us rest from all our enemies, right? All our enemies. Like nowadays, people try to make it seem like, Israel have any enemies. We are one people, every nation, God loves everybody, yada, yada, all of all that garbage, man. But the Most High has given us rest because prior to this, Joshua chapter 23, we went through hell to get into the land of Israel. We went through a lot of hell. The 40 years, one part of that, man. Even when the Most High was going to bring us into the land, we still had to go to war. The Most High was giving us some of the land. Other nations, came against us. They even tried to be funny and trick us to make it seem like they came to make peace. You know, and I know we went over that for a few weeks back, and it was a real deep story, man. But the Most High, had the right, had Joshua, running the show at that time, and he picked up on it quick. So we had strong leaders that wasn't afraid to get their hands dirty, in a righteous manner, of course. This wasn't, you in some gang or some mafia or something. You just foolishly going out there doing, crazy things. The Most High, had things structured. This is the land that's for Israel. Go and take the possess the land.